Amen, and God bless you. My name is Pastor Brian Eugene Hawkins. I'm the senior pastor of Divine Appointment Worship Center in the city of San Jacinto. I'm sitting here with two of the members from my ministry that God has given us in the city. And I wanted to come on here. You know, as you guys know, this is our broadcast called The Mercy Seat. And the reason why I wanted to bring them on here is because after talking with them this past weekend, I found out something tremendous about this couple and what they've gone through. And one of the things we really promote here is testimony and how people overcome some tremendous odds. And this week they got a chance to meet someone who they didn't even realize was somebody who helped them get out of a real serious situation in their life. So I'm going to let them, tell you about it. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Juanita Mendoza.
Richard Mendoza.
All right, so this is the Mendoza family. They, like I said, they're members here. They've been faithfully coming here to the ministry, been working here. Sister Mendoza, she works at the greeting, do a lot of different things. Mr. Brother Mendoza, actually, carpentry work. The man is phenomenal skills. We went over to another church this past week and went and painted another church. But that's not the reason why we're here. The reason why we're here is because, as people know, election season is coming up. If you haven't went and registered to vote, the website is on the bottom. You can go to this link, go register to vote. November 6th is a very important election. Regardless of who you vote for, just vote. Yes, your vote matters. One of the things we're going to be talking about is a candidate that's in the election. We mentioned a lot of different candidates here. I've interviewed some. I've spoken on some. I'm not afraid to voice my opinion when it comes to politics. The separation of church and state is nowhere in the Constitution of the United States. It was a law that was passed during Lyndon B. Johnson's reign, and it has a lot to do with not forcing religion on individuals. But I do believe in politics. I do believe in having a voice in the political spectrum. Every group has a voice, non-profits all over. And at the end of the day, I want to make sure that somebody that's in the office, one, represent God, represent, what he has for his people. And I'm not just going to put my name based on a red or a blue or male or female or black or white or Hispanic or Asian, whatever your nationality is. I'm going to vote with God first. And this week, we actually had the privilege of meeting someone that's actually a candidate in this election. So before we bring her up, I want to talk to you guys. Are you guys familiar with a program called Project H.O.P.E?
Yes, absolutely.
Project H.O.P.E. Okay, and how did you guys come about learning about Project H.O.P.E?
We were blessed with housing through Project H.O.P.E. They actually funded our housing, and because of this project and what it's all about, my husband and I have a roof over our head now in this county of Riverside, and it's the city of Hemet, for exactly about 5 months now. And
so wait, now you said provided a roof over your head. Before Project H.O.P.E, where were you guys? How was your living conditions?
We actually were living in my car temporarily in Temecula, and going back and forth to Los Angeles where my son lives, and sometimes staying on the Walmart parking lot in Temecula. We lived actually on a beautiful ranch in Temecula, but our employment there was terminated because the gentleman I used to care for moved out of state. He was 83 and had a stroke and had to be with family members. So we actually had a little time to find a place to live, but unfortunately being on a fixed income, my husband's income, and we just couldn't do that. And the benefits we tried to inquire about in Los Angeles, that LA County lost our paperwork for housing and everything, and we were devastated. Somebody had said, we used to donate our time and volunteer over at the pantry in Temecula, and they were actually doing the sweep, they call it, for homeless people. And a dear friend lady that is involved at the community pantry said, you and your husband are such good people, you shouldn't be here with this is what's going on. Come tomorrow, they're having some people representing different programs
Different housing programs.
and housing programs, and I really want you to be sign up for it. So of course, we did, and we signed up for all the programs. Actually, my husband did, because I was volunteering my time feeding some of the homeless people while I was serving them. My husband filled out the computer part of it, and I was like, oh my gosh, what did you do? Because he forgets. But anywho, we were blessed. Actually, 3 months later, which was a surprise in itself, because somebody from the Hope program gave me a call and asking for my husband, and then we received another voicemail asking for Juanita Mendoza, and I was like, from the same program? Okay. We were so blessed.
Blessed twice.
We were blessed twice. My husband,
Separate.
we're married for 23 years. He filled out, I don't know how he did it, but he was approved, and then
I did something
Juanita,
right for once.
I was approved.
Because she was like,
What did
she
you
said,
do?
wait. Yeah.
And so
But-
we were both approved individually, and of course they had to fix our paperwork
Which
and
was
make
to
us
our surprise, because where we came from, LA, I don't want to put no
counties
counties
anything
down
like
or
that.
whatever.
We grew
They
up
have
in
like
the
a
county of Los
massive list that takes 6 years
Wow.
just to be qualified, just to someone interviewing you.
And we did all our paperwork right, and then go to find out everybody that had signed up were getting housing. And when we went, they said they couldn't find us anywhere. And this is the city of Burbank. But lo and behold, not even 3 months, we were both approved, and they put us together, and here we are. And they wanted to put us in different cities, but with my husband's ailments and his conditions, the hot desert just wasn't right for us. So somebody had said something about the city of Hemet, and I was like, well, I looked it up, and I said, well, we'll try, And
we heard awful things about him, and I said, wait a minute. I go, we haven't even been there. Let's give it a chance.
Right.
You know?
Awesome.
And the way I
And
look at it,
it was just-
even with the
Just the Lord is leading us. Just let's go.
So let me get this straight. So you were homeless. You were going through all these different avenues trying to get yourselves off the streets.
Yes.
Yes,
Now, this program, Project Hope, did they ever encourage you to stay homeless?
No, absolutely not.
Uh-uh.
And in fact, it was the other way around. When we had went to fill out the forms, or the computer forms, the people there that we were introduced to, or that they didn't look at us differently. They didn't. Some people do. What's that word you use?
Profile.
Profile the homeless, and there's so many homeless people out there, families living in their motorhomes and everything, and it's not just because of alcohol and drugs.
Their whole family's out there.
Their family out there is
Very,
because
very
of
sad.
the property, the poverty, the income, and for whatever reasons. In our case, it was totally not even drugs and alcohol, and as much as we know Christ, we question ourselves sometimes, and we have our doubts, and my husband and I, our marriage just almost broke because, we just were lost, and people like the volunteers at Project Hope, they just made us see a whole different avenue, and I'm very thankful for them because, I'm so sorry, Pastor.
No, go ahead.
We thought we were blessed with the single or one bedroom. And we have a 2-bedroom upstairs with 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and we don't share walls with anybody in Hemet. And it's a beautiful.
So let me ask you this question. So this Sunday, let's break it to this Sunday.
Yes.
So you're sitting in church Sunday. We get guests that comes in, and a family comes up, and I get up and I introduce the lady, Stacy Olson.
Yes.
Now, before Sunday, she's never been here to our church before.
No.
And when I introduced her, you said later that you remember seeing her name.
Her face, I was part of the greeting team, and when she walked up to come into the church, I said to myself, I know that face. I've seen that face.
Wow.
And I did not know her name. And when you introduced her, and when you said New Generation Project Hope, I just grabbed my chest and I was like, so it was, I went and asked her after the fact, after a service was over, if I asked her a few questions, and when I realized who she was and that she was the founder of it, I just had tears in my eyes, and I thanked her and I hugged her 3 times and said thank you for your for caring, because
She got us off the streets.
right.
You said she got you off the streets.
Off the streets.
Wow.
Yeah, she did. What she believes in is like I said, there's so many homeless out there, and people profile them, and you shouldn't do that. I mean, you should really try to help those that are in need. It's not just because they're alcoholics or drug addicts, and so maybe some are, but maybe some prefer living that way. But no, there's mental illness.
Also.
And people like her, and to this day, we don't have much. We have what we have, and we still give to those homeless, and by all means we pray for them, because we've been in their shoes, and I'm never going to say never. I don't want to look back to my past, but I want to show them that there's people out there that care, and you don't have to be this way. You could do it too. And my husband and I were so grateful for these programs, and for Stacy Olson, and for my pastor, who also didn't look down on us, and I don't think other people should either. They should look for programs, and they should be positive and find Christ and believe, because nobody has to be, unless difficult times run in. But we all fall down and feel down about ourselves. But today I stand here, I sit here, and I'm happy, I'm proud, and I believe in people like Stacy Olson. And I keep calling my pastor saying, how can I do this? How can I do that?
We want to help.
We want to help. We want to get out there.
In the community.
So, and I'm planning on doing it.
We're here for a reason.
Well, and now she's running for council in the 2nd district in Hemet.
Oh, definitely, yes.
Yeah,
I looked her up.
So you already looked her up and
yes,
everything.
I have to say something, and excuse me, but I've never voted. I haven't registered to vote. I just never believed in, I guess, politicians, Republicans, Democrats, or I'm independent, and what is that? I keep calling my pastor's phone, just asking, I want to, can I do? Can you help me get involved in voting, or sign me up, or help me? Because now I want to vote. Now I am interested in voting. I want to vote for Stacy Olson. I want to investigate. I want to find out others that have her passion for the homeless, and for her beliefs and what she does to help people, and these programs. That's what I'd like to do. And
awesome. Well, you know what she says: homeless but not
helpless.
Helpless. That's it. Homeless but not helpless. Well, you heard it from the Mendoza. I asked them not to write anything down. I didn't want us to be scripted. I wanted to come straight from the heart. I wanted you to hear exactly what Project H.O.P.E is all about, exactly what Stacy Olson is trying to do in this community. We can't dictate how other people live, but what we can do is try to just be a light in those who are living in a dark place. Right. And, there's a homeless crisis in this country. Let's not pretend that there isn't. And here's my thing. We keep saying we want America to be different. Trump said we want America to be great again. Well, how can it be different if we keep putting the same people in office? To be different means you got to do something different. And that's important to understand. And so in this election, November 6th, I'm encouraging you to go in there and vote different. Vote this country in a better direction. Some of the individuals that are in there, that are doing a good job. I'm not against any politician if they're getting a fair chance. Even with Donald Trump, people don't like him, his rhetoric and how he's going about doing things. But there's some things that he's getting done. There's some things that some people don't like. At the end of the day, God is in control of it all. And we have to understand that this is a Christian nation, one nation under God. And we have to understand that. But I want to thank you guys for coming on to the Mercy Seat and sharing about Miss Stacy Olson, because Hemet needs to hear this. San Jacinto needs to hear this. Riverside needs to hear this. California needs to hear this. The whole world needs to hear this. We're not the only city with a homeless crisis. And I'm gonna tell you something. And listen to this. There are some people who have homes that are still homeless. There are some people who really don't have a positive environment. You know, they're not in a functioning home. You know, they feel more abandoned, even though they have a roof over their head. So there's so many different levels of homelessness that we don't even begin to even look at. We just see people live out on the streets. They were sleeping in their car. You know, there are some people that are, you know, sleeping in, you know, their trucks, you know, sleeping in gas stations. We have to fix these crises. And as you heard her say, she's voting for Stacey Olsen. I'm pretty sure her husband is voting for Stacey Olsen. Look her up, see what she's all about, and I guarantee you're going to be encouraged by what you see and not about what you hear. All right? You be blessed, you be encouraged. Would you guys like to share something to end off?
Vote.
There you go, vote.
Vote.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and
Do
get
so.
her registered to vote right now
Thank
so we
you.
can get her out there. All right? Thank you for coming to the Mercy Seat.
Thank you,
All right,
Pastor.
Thank you, Pastor,
All right.
for inviting us.
All right, come on down if you visited us. We're going to be here this Sunday, 8 a.m. Our church opens up. We have an 8 a.m. service, then 11 a.m. service. So come on down, 950 North Ramona Boulevard. It's right here on the bottom of the screen. All right, you be blessed and God bless you.